My name is Simone Rowe, and today on Heart to Heart, we'll be featuring a special father. Today's Father's Day, and I have my very good friend Garfield Miller on set today, who will be sharing his story of being a single dad and what it took for him to get to this point. So today, Garfield, we want to welcome you on the set. Thank you so much for being willing to come and share your story with our viewers. You know, I am so privileged to be a friend of yours for so many years, to have a front row seat and to see firsthand some of the experiences and the scenarios that you have been through, which have made you into the person that you are today. And so, viewers, this story is one that I'm sure you will be happy you would have listened to, because I, for one, can tell you it takes an extraordinary determination for someone to pull through what my friend has been through. And so, Garfield, I'm going to ask you to share with our viewers a little bit more about yourself and your background and who you are, so they can be, more connected to you.
Thank you, Simone.
You're
my
welcome.
dear friend. Thank you, Ingol, for having me. I'm a jovial person. I have good interpersonal skills with people. I'm a single dad. I have a corporate job. I'm also an entrepreneur, in that I am talented too, so I made a business out of it. Single dad is the real me. I found myself, what I would say, true way when my son came. He pulled more out of me.
Okay.
In that I had to do a lot with him. I had to go deep, live life more meaningful when he came. Or we could say I had more to live for when he came. So
Yes.
I think that pulled out more in my personality, in that I'm responsible too,
Okay.
very responsible. So when it comes to my son, that is the part that really activates. Right? I grew up as an orphan.
Okay.
Right? I did not have the luxury of
The
immediate parent, father and mother. And so I was
Because I believe you shared with me that you're born to teenage parents.
teenage parent. My mother had me when she was 13.
Wow.
To be exact. So pregnant at 12, had me at 13.
At 13.
My father was about like 15, 14, 15, thereabout. Right. So I mean, for them, I would say they didn't understand as
What they were
now.
assuming at that time.
Right. So it ended up that I did not live with them any at all. I was with grandparents. I had to go through life without
A lot of
them.
instability.
Right. So I was thrown about the place at some point until I went to live with my grandfather.
Okay.
Their home was somewhat structured, in that they had church, school involved. The right morals were there, and so I got some of that.
Right.
Until it was about age 16 when I left. So I was on my own then. I was working. I got a job. Was working, and then life really started to the point that it led to marriage. And then
So you got married at an early age.
At an early age. Right. So that's pretty much some of the background. And as we go along with the story, you'll learn more, and I'll share more of some of the experiences that I have to go through.
Okay. And professionally, adding to your background, where are you career-wise? What are you pursuing at the moment?
At the moment, well, I am an entrepreneur. I have my own business, restaurant. I'm into the catering field. I also have a full-time job as a business development officer and a relief officer at Target number. So I'm doing that, and I'm a single dad.
And you're a single dad. Awesome. All right, so Garfield, the story of Joshua's birth is one that captivated me from the beginning, from the onset. Because to imagine that one is a single dad, you're young, you're not so privy to what to expect. Starting this new chapter as a young single dad, I want for you to share with our viewers the whole story of Joshua's birth and how is it that you maneuvered your way to this point. Joshua is 4 years old and he is a brilliant young man. I want for you to zoom in on the details of how did you do it? How did you do it? Because you had a premature child. I want for you to tell our viewers your story of being a single dad.
Sure, no problem. Alright, the conception of my son was very intentional in
Right.
that it was planned.
Mm-hmm.
So my son was born in wedlock somewhere. So there was a structure. you
Right.
know.
Mm-hmm.
However, when the child was born,
Mm-hmm.
everything crumbled in the sense that it was no longer the nuclear family, it was just me.
Mm-hmm.
Inevitably.
Okay.
My wife could not assume a role at that time because she was unable to,
Mm-hmm.
right? And as a result, I had to assume the roles right away
As
after
a
he was
primary.
born.
Mm-hmm.
When he was born, he did not came full term, premature,
Mm-hmm.
2 pounds 4 ounces.
Right.
He was born on the Thursday. Then on the Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
my wife, things happened.
Mm-hmm.
My wife did not get to have that kind of bond with him, so it was
Okay.
just me. That
It was just
left.
you at that point.
Right. So I had to assume the role of a lactating mother.
Mm.
He was in the NICU for like 8 days, so I had to do a lot of back and forth, to check on him, ensuring that things were done,
Mhm.
that the doctors were doing what they were supposed to do.
Okay.
So I had to do that right in between. Let it be clear also that my wife did not leave the hospital. She was there, and so I had to be back and forth to her
Okay.
and to the child.
Okay.
The time came when the baby needed to come home, or when
Right.
they need to release the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Mommy was still in the hospital, so
It was daddy alone. It was you
daddy
alone.
alone. And
Mhm.
preparation was not made for somebody else to be there, because we planned to receive this child at full term. Preparation was made on our part, but there was none done to should in case anything goes wrong or anything
Right, like a
because
plan
we had
B.
that faith that everything would be fine and they
Right.
would come at full term because we did everything we needed to do. So we were prepared, but the script took a huge turn in that I was the single parent with the baby right now. Right, in that I am a male too. I was young,
Mhm.
I was a branch supervisor, in charge of a whole branch with the keys and everything. The child,
Mhm.
plus being an entrepreneur,
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
So give us an idea. I mean, having a premature child. What were your days like? Give us an idea of what your days looked like.
All right. For when the baby came home, he had special. Well, the doctors would have given us. All right, given us right, because it was my cousin and I at the time. My cousin assisted me to get him from the
Okay.
hospital, because without a female figure,
They wouldn't have released the child.
Right.
to
So
you.
my cousin and I had to go there and prove to them that we are capable,
Mhm.
that we can give care to the baby.
Mhm.
But the truth is that at the end of the day, even though I had that support, it was me and the child in the night. So I had to feed that baby in a special way in that he could not use a nipple.
Okay, right.
For a premature, they don't recommend that the baby use a nipple. So I had to feed him from a special kind of bottle
Mhm.
and similar. That was the feeding at the time to develop him further, because for a premature baby or any baby for that matter, they needed the breast milk.
Yes,
for
at
that
that
bonding with the
stage for
mom.
nourishment.
Right,
Mhm.
for that. He did not get that colostrum from the breast, and so I had to find ways in which to ensure that baby, get these kind of nutrients or nurture. And so I had to follow the doctors carefully, follow the diet carefully, and ensure that I administer the stuff as though they had told me to.
Right.
But I had to put him on a pillow, like a pillow that was sleep on. I had to put him on that to feed him. I could not hold him as much in the earlier stages because he was so tiny.
Mhm.
I didn't want to risk it and have he could slip out of man or something like that. And so I had to put him on the pillow
Mhm.
in a good posture
Mhm.
and feed him, right?
Wow.
When that was done, I had to find another way to hold him up on the pillow for him to burp, right? So the food can digest properly and that the baby is comfortable when he's done.
Yes.
So I have to ensure that. Remember now, I didn't know anything about this. Yes, I had experiences dealing with babies growing up, but not a premature baby. So that's where the impact really came in.
Yes.
It was a detailed kind of care.
Experience.
Right. It wasn't just a baby where you could do anything to. You had to follow the careful instruction of the doctors and do what they asked you to. I had to change the diaper. That diaper couldn't hold on him like
Because he was tiny. He was really
So
tiny at that time.
When you put it on, it's
Right.
like you have to draw it all the way to the side for it
To fit him
to. Right.
properly.
It's almost as if it was going around the baby like 2 times.
Garfield, share with us some of your memorable moments with your son. He's now 4 years old. Tell us of some of the moments that you have shared with him.
Memorable moment is feeding. Because when I feed that baby and he's full and then he's on my shoulder, you know, it's a different kind of feeling, Simone. You know, knowing that that baby is secured in your arms, you know, knowing that you are going to do your best to make sure that baby is fine, that nothing is wrong with that child. So when that baby tummy is full and you have him here, you know that he's okay, it says something to me. But apart from that, most of my memorable moments are when I have to take him to work.
Okay.
You know, and especially on the weekends when his caretaker doesn't work, I have to take him to work with me. Remember, my job is very demanding in that I am a leader.
Right.
So I assume the role of a manager.
Okay.
And so I had to deal with the baby and do my work.
At the same time.
Right.
Okay.
I had to do it discreetly. I could not take him like, to make everyone see that he's there, because my job actually don't allow those things. But I had to take him there, put him in a comfortable position, ensure that he's fine and he doesn't have anything bothering him or you know. So I'd feed him, you know, and comfort him so he could actually sleep. But when he got bigger, I had to like set I started introducing YouTube to him from like 6 months.
Okay.
So he grew like that. He already have that kind of attention span, you know, to those things, and I realized that he liked it. And so when I take him to work, I would have the YouTube thing up with the colors, the ABC thing, and he would watch it throughout it if he wakes up. So I'll turn him to it, turn the chair to it just in case he wakes. So no distraction in the workplace. So that was one memorable moment. The next moment, since he's bigger now, small, like when you 2 plus until now, and he can identify things, recognize stuff. When I cook for him, and especially if it's something new, he would often say, Daddy, it tastes good, and give me a thumbs up. And that speaks volume for me, you know, when
that means you're doing something right.
Right. You know, he appreciates what I do. And I mean, you know, for me to look at a child and a child giving me a constructive, you know, criticism about my food, you know, it speaks to me, right? And the fact that I'm doing something right, and that's kind of motivation for me to do more for him, right? My next memorable moments are sometimes he would massage my shoulder. I don't have to ask him. Voluntarily, you do it. You just come and say, Daddy, and he just do it, and then he'll be like, Daddy, that feel better now? You know, that kind of thing. So
yes. There's a bond.
Right, that bond, you know, it really stands out for me. And because of that, I don't want anything to do with this child. Nothing at all. It's like when he's at the caretaker, I am worried. It's like just me being there, my presence there to me means a lot. Because if anything, I always think that if anything should go wrong and my child is not around, it's like, no, what? I just feel if I'm in this space and he's with me, anything that goes wrong, it's like I'm almost going to transform in a superhero just to save
your child.
It is that kind of thing. Throughout the day when I'm at work, he's always on my mind. It's like I have to check up on him every minute to see if he's fine. And those things. And I think this is being impacted because it impacts me greatly because the fact that I didn't grow with a father, you know, and I tell you already that I used to think deeply about
your family,
right? And it was at a young age, it was at a tender age, and so I don't want my son to be like that. I don't want my son to come thinking that way about life. And so what I did, I go ahead. I'm a step ahead of my son. I create it for him, right? To ensure that he's comfortable, whatever he wants, I'm there. I am his go-to. Right?
So Garfield, I want for you to encourage some fathers out there, because I know a lot of men who are out there who really want to assume their roles in an effective way as fathers. But there's always a stigma that is attached to fathers, and fathers not good enough for them as sperm donors. And you know the stigma that is out there. But what can you say to fathers out there who really want to assume their roles in an effective manner from your experiences, what can you say to empower them and encourage them?
Parents or people who have kids need to understand that their child or your kids are a priority, right? If there were differences between both parties, they need to forget about it and focus on the child. The child has
Yes.
nothing to do with this,
Mhm.
right? Put your attention to the child in that you did not, like the partner is not there,
Mhm.
right? Can you now imagine if both parties are paying that kind of attention to the child and just leaving their differences? It would make the world a better place.
Better place.
All our kids would be okay, right? All of our kids would be fine. And so, as fathers, we need to drop the ego part of it.
Yes.
Next thing is Simone, some of the fathers just want to have the title father. You know, everybody wants to have a youth. Everybody wants to have a youth. Nobody knows the actual responsibility because for most men, they are not living at home with the baby mothers. They are not there. They are out. So it's like, yo, I have my youth and them thing there, you know, man. But you have the youth, but are you really assuming the role? Right? Because you can send a money every now and then for that child, you know, but the child is still missing out. The child is still lacking.
Yes.
You know, there was no bonding. There was nothing happened for the child. And so in your mind, you are a father. But a real father is one who really assumes the responsibility by action. Alright? And so I pledge to myself that I want to become the kind of father that God says
Amen.
right or men should be. And so I try my best to live that every day. So forget about your differences. Forget about your difference and focus on your child. I'm a living testimony, my brothers.
Yes, wonderful. Now, Garfield, if there's one thing that you can do to empower our fathers in society, because in Jamaica, as I mentioned at the start of the interview, there's a stigma that is attached. And today being Father's Day, I mean, there's not much that excitement and exuberance about fathers. But if there's one thing that you can do to restore that kind of enthusiasm about fathers and Father's Day, even here in Jamaica and even abroad, internationally, I want for you to share with our viewers what is that one thing that you could do to empower our men as fathers and to make a difference in the world of fathers.
Well, Simone, I have already started. I've already started in
Share
that
with
I'm
us.
already mentoring youth,
Okay.
young people. There are a lot of young men around me, and so I just use my day-to-day life. To show them how, right? But as far as the stigma is concerned, I believe we can probably attack this from a global level because fathers already have we already have a stigma on our fathers or on our dads. And so I believe from an international perspective, I don't know how as yet, I don't have the idea in my mind, but even from a CARICOM level, if our CARICOM leaders or a body within CARICOM can come together and meet with the different countries or Caribbean countries, you know, could have something going there, maybe some board, some committee that really deals with this, you know, like let us not, I'm sure there are a lot of forums, there are a lot of table talk about fathers, I'm sure there are a lot of interviews like this.
Oh yes.
But
Oh yes.
what I'm saying to you, we need to pay more attention to it in that we have a body on a CARICOM level to begin with. And I think automatically the rest of the world will hear it. Automatically the rest of the world will hear it, in that our father needs to be showcased more, you know, even with Father's Day. When Father's Day comes, we don't give that kind of attention, that
Yes.
kind of, you know.
Even the marketing strategies and the whole campaigns that are out there, a lot revolves around Mother's Day, but you
Right.
don't get the same kind
For
of
Father's
energy around
Day, and
fathers.
I believe that's the reason why fathers too, they tend to just don't even pay Father's Day in mind. Because even if, I believe if you ask some men when it's Father's Day, they can't even tell you. So that already tells you that in your mind that men already give up.
Yes.
Give up on that. They just say they accept that they are being treated poorly, and so they don't want to push as much.
Okay.
They don't want to, you know, and I believe that that's one of the reasons that allows them to behave that way too. Because by the way we treat them, we treat even children. us, because we do so much for the mother and Mother's Day and Father's
and
Day.
not
It's
for
just
the
daddy.
fathers. And I
Yeah.
believe that impacts significantly on the ego and the esteem of our men. So, I believe that we should acknowledge our men more. In your families, your fathers, you may not have called daddy in a long time. It is good if we can put our differences aside, give daddy a call, offer him a gift of surprise on this day to make amends. Because the truth of the matter is, if we have stronger fathers, we have stronger societies. If our men are whole, then the nation in and of itself will be whole and healed. So we need to champion this cause, and today this is what we're here to do, sharing this story with Garfield Miller. We need to look in ourselves, in our own families, in our communities, and champion the cause for our men, champion the cause for our fathers, and cause Father's Day to regain that true status that it should have. So ladies and gentlemen, just before we close this interview, we have a special little man who is on the set with us, and we're going to ask him to share with us his name. What is your name? Share with the viewers your name. Say it clearer so they can hear. Look in the camera and say your name slowly. Wonderful.
Can you spell it for us?
Spell your name.
Joshua.
Wonderful. And Joshua, how old are you?
4.
I just want to speak to our fathers and to encourage our fathers. God has given you a role. It may not have been an intentional one, but whatever the case may be, you have a responsibility to your children. Even if there is something bad that has happened, hash it out with them. Give them a call. Call them for a dinner date or a lunch date and share your heart. Express yourself to them, because you have a responsibility to your child. They actually look up to you. They are emulating you. And this relationship that you have with them could determine their future. It could determine how they even manage their own families. So this is my challenge to you today on Heart to Heart. Build that bond with your child. It's not too late for you to actually reach out and to connect with your children. If you have a bond with your child, this will create a more whole and healed society. So this is my word to you today. Make comments, call them up now, give them a shout out and show them the love that you actually care. So to all our fathers out there in Jamaica, happy Father's Day to you. Thank you for tuning into this interview with Garfield and his son Joshua Kyle. And we want to thank Involved Media again for this lovely feature. Have a wonderful day.